somewhere in the world, Dan is walking. And today, he's talking to you. I'm Laura, and this is Walk and Talk with Dan Watkins.
What are some of the best things that have happened to me in life and career-wise that I don't actually talk that often about? And it's all going to kind of come down to the combination of two worlds can collide. A growth mindset and an obsession on learning matched with an ego that does not like to get popped. One of the things that I've found to be really, really helpful is to go in and ask people in a really good mood. So like if they're already mad at you, it's probably not a good time. If you're upset with them, it's probably not a good time. But when things are good, ask them for feedback and just say, look, I'm dying here. What's one thing? And I don't want lots of things, but what's one thing? They're like, Dan, if you got better at this, I would really like it. And you'll be shocked at what the answers are. If you go, at least for me, I'm just speaking for me. If I go and I'm angry, I'm upset, and I'm just obligatory asking, what's something I could do better at a career planning session or something like that, they're not that interesting. But I've heard really compelling things. And then what you do is you start talking about and you thank publicly on your team people for giving you that feedback. And this works in life too. So like if you ask your wife this question, you ask your husband this question, you ask your kids this question, and they give you something, go work on it and then thank them. And so what's been really helpful for me is I've started to try to do this more and more, particularly over the last, let's call it 12 years. I then go and say like, okay, if it's obvious that I've got something to work on, it's probably harder than I would imagine to go in and work on myself. So I need an expert. So then what I go in and do is I go in and I'll ask them, are there any books that you recommend on it? Or I go and do the research myself. And there's a few areas in particular that I'm going to share with everybody where these books have helped me a ton. So one of them is when I get into business mode or I get into I'm going to go hit this goal mode, I often forget about how human every other person is around me. And what I mean by that is, as you're simple things, you could be making a decision on hiring. You could be making a decision on office location. You could be bringing on a new client. You could, there's all kinds of different business decisions you're making. There's a wide variety of human beings within your organization or within your life that are affected by that. And so then what ends up happening is because I'm so focused on the outcome, my natural instinct is to then just assume, of course, it's good for everybody else too, or just not assume anything at all is more often what it is. And then I just go. Examples of this. Ryan Smith used to tell me, Dan, you leave dead bodies everywhere that you go. And I just was like, what the hell does he even mean? And as I dug into it, what it ended up being is quite literally, when I was walking around in the office, I wouldn't take the time to go in and talk with people. Instead, I was just on my phone answering the next email, answering the next text. Another example is I'll go do a complete organization restructure, and especially early, and I wouldn't think about how's everybody else going to go in and feel until I got a little bit too excited about how things were going to go with that organization restructure. So there's a book that had a fundamental impact on how I think about things. And that book is called The Anatomy of Peace. Inner Excellence is another really, really good one that was just barely recommended to me. But The Anatomy of Peace goes through and it actually talks about all these different dynasties, warlords, people like that. And the societies that thrived had one thing in common. The empires that lasted for a really long time. And what it was is when that conqueror took over, they would think about the people that were there as if they had always been their citizens. How would they want them to be treated? They didn't allow for plundering. They didn't allow for attacking, mistreating the people. And so anyway, so my advice to all of you is as you think about your ego combined with a growth mindset and learning, go ask for feedback. What are areas that you really need to go get better at? Be super happy. Take their feedback. Find a book on it. Read that book. Take at least one core takeaway from it. And then go tell those people how grateful you are for them. Jeff Harvey's the one that recommended to me The Anatomy of Peace, and Rick Patarella is the one that recommended to me Inner Excellence. And those have both had a huge impact to me in this area.
Is there a book someone recommended to you that really changed something? Let us know in the comments. This podcast is brought to you by Databased, your partner in building revenue teams that actually perform.